Hello everyone, a happy Sunday night here. Just a quick review of chapter 5 that I have played through now. Like I said, it's Sunday night now. I played through the story mode and also the encounter mode of chapter 5 on Friday night. It was quite a long night. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Another great chapter, like you say, I am, as I mentioned before, playing 4 full characters. So to do the story mode and also the encounter mode afterwards probably takes almost 5 hours, I would say. I think it does. So I think quite often I do, obviously because of time constraints, I am splitting that down, doing the story mode one night and then a few days later doing the encounter mode as well. But anyway, on to chapter 5. Really good. Another kind of complete change of pace, I think, really. I think you can say, sort of no spoilers, but I think chapters 1 to 4 are kind of a mini kind of story campaign a bit on their own. And chapter 5 definitely feels like a bit of a new start, maybe, or the start of a new storyline. 1 to 4 are very kind of complete, I think. And chapter 5 now, we're starting something different, something new. Lots of new characters in the story mode, loads of new characters, lots of great places to explore, things to investigate, different kind of types of characters in the world as well. It introduces, and it's not a spoiler at all because you just get to it as the story comes, but it introduces the Watchers, which seem quite mysterious. They roam around the city. I won't say too much. I'll let you get to it yourselves. But another good kind of type of character that's coming into the storyline as well. It seems really good. But yeah, really enjoyed chapter 5. Completely didn't change of pace to chapter 4 story mode. Completely different. Got through it very well actually, chapter 5. I wasn't ambushed, so when I got to the encounter, I knew what I was up against. I managed to gather the clues that you need beforehand, so I could look at the boss special rules and then pick my player's cards after I'd looked at the special rules, and that makes a huge difference. Particularly some of the characters, you can really tailor them once you know what the boss's special kind of moves are, if you like. And you can also tell from that if they've got any minions or anything like that as well. So yeah, really good. Went into chapter 5. Probably the best chapter I've had actually. I rolled some pretty good dice at the right time. Still using the dice, and I do plan to keep me using the dice now. I do find it really enjoyable, and it does streamline the game a little bit as well, which is good. But yeah, did encounter 5 really well actually. I think it's the first encounter I've gone into that I've not been ambushed since the first chapter. I think the first chapter I wasn't ambushed, and this is the first one since. So went into the chapter 5 encounter. Probably minor spoilers, I would say. Kind of very minor spoilers, but there's a couple of different things you're doing in the encounter really, or you can do. My team almost felt like a bunch of superheroes, really. I kind of, the Harbinger went off and he kind of spent his time sort of saving people, really. It's something you can do if you want. And I decided with kind of his special ability, he kind of sort of straight away used that, went off to a certain part of the board. I'll just put it up there. And then started sort of saving people. And he was the saver of the group, if you like. And very much a support character that played very well. Again, like before, I've really been using the prophetic fulfillment to heal characters, particularly the Penitent or the Warbear. Keep their health propped up with that card, really good. And the foreshadowing, so good. I don't know how I would do if I didn't have this. So you can basically, it can either give friendly characters a redraw token or a shield, but you can rearrange the top 3 stage cards of the boss and that is so good. I'm basically trying to constantly do this most turns or every other turn, just to see what's coming, make sure there's no nasty surprises, and kind of mitigate that. So I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have him in the group. Really, really good. The krill throw, there's a great red cubed attack there from range 3. This particular scenario, he probably didn't get to do much damage. That's maybe why I sent him off and did other things with him, really. Plus kept using the prophetic fulfillment and the foreshadowing. So really good. But he did great, did really well. No knockouts at all either. Got through the encounter absolutely fine. No knockouts. Again, I don't think that's happened for a while. I think some other people on Facebook might have had a bit of issues with this encounter. But like you say, you know, one chapter, one encounter, other people might breeze through, and I have lots of issues, or vice versa, The Penitent. Now, I think I might have forgotten to do this a bit in previous chapters, but every time he loses health, he gets an empowerment token. Really good, especially late on in the game where you kind of ran out of combat tokens a bit. Being able to do that really keeps his damage up, so that's really, really good. And the cards I took in, Revenge, really good card. If he gets dealt any damage, he can deal damage straight back. So that helps chip away at the health of a boss. Sweep, I mean, particularly when you're fighting large bosses, you don't hit all 3 squares, but you get extra damage if you hit a large boss with an area effect. So again, that was quite good. Shield bash, I used that quite a bit. Using a shield with a black might cube, really good attack. And judgment, I did use this a few times. This is basically where he's throwing his shield or throwing his weapon. I do get a bit stressed though. You've thrown your shield, I immediately want to run across and pick it up again. So it is, and particularly the weapon, if you end up throwing your weapon, you're unarmed then. So I never did that, but I threw my shield a couple of times and I had to run after it quickly to get it. But it is a good attack. It is a good attack as well. You got Taunt to try and direct any reaction attacks to yourself if need be. And Intercession, which is a healing card. I didn't use that one though. I didn't use it. I probably used it just for the attack or the defense value, but I had it there just in case, which is great. The Witch, how did the Witch do this encounter? I kind of messed up a bit. Well, first of all, I thought I'd be a bit adventurous, so I kind of picked sort of a couple of fire cards and then a couple of the water cards as well. Chain Lightning I thought might be good in this one. And the good old Flaming Whip. The only problem is though, I wasn't generating much fire or water. I think you really probably need to have this card, Elemental Suffusion, which helps you add more fire and water if there's none within range 3. I was just relying on, without that card, I was just relying on what she generated each turn. And I would generate 1 fire, 1 water, and then I'd use it. I'd feel the pressure to kind of use that up on that go to do some damage. What I really need to do is just generate that fire or water, and then the next round, let it spill, let the water flood or the fire catch more fire in the wood to 2 adjacent squares. I need to do that, but you know, I panic. I generate 1 at the beginning of the round, and then I use that probably for Fireflies. Fireflies again is a decent card. Works a bit differently to normal attacks, but in this, I found in this encounter that worked quite well. But then obviously that would be used. So next round I'm looking at all my cards that require, for example, 2 fire, and I've got none on the board. So I think I really suffered not having this card, and I think I'll definitely be taking that next time. It creates fire and it can create water as well, so you get both, which is really, really good. So I messed up. I think I messed up. I was adventurous having water and fire cards, but I just didn't generate enough of either to actually pull off any of the big spells. I was dying to do the firewall, for example, the fireball, but I didn't generate enough. She did do some damage though, which is good. But you know, I didn't pull off anything fancy with her, I suppose, which I was a bit disappointed about. And the last one, the bear, the Warbear. Again, Primal Rage. I mentioned it in the last video. What I do for this one, 2 attacks, and one of these attacks you do get the determination rule if you miss. So the first attack, I roll loads of silly dice. I roll loads of dice, you know, pick up loads of white dice, chuck them all. If you're probably going to miss, which is fine, because then you get a combat token for your second attack. And if you don't miss, well, brilliant. You've just rolled a load of numbers in, so that's really good. So I kept using this. Silly dice on the first one. Quite often got a redraw token or an empowerment token from it, and then attacked with that on the second one. Just try and buff up the damage. Really good. Again, another area effect, which I used a few times. It came quite handy. The toss one as well. I didn't use this time. I didn't quite get in the right position, so I still haven't had a great game at using this, but that is going to be great fun when I do. Bite, I did use this to mitigate a bit of damage. Basically, after an adjacent enemy draws damage, ignore one of the enemy's might cards of your choice. I mean, you're going to pick the highest one, aren't you? But that's really good. You do it after they draw damage. I used that a couple of times. Really, really good. Really, really happy with that one. The good old Feral Roar. I mean, if you don't use that, you get +1 damage. So that's brilliant. Either way, really good. So yeah, really happy with them. They worked really well. I didn't breeze through it. It was a struggle. I really like the mechanics of the boss. I have to say, I do remember this boss from the spoiler page on the Kickstarter about a year ago or so. And when I realised it was this one, I was a bit like, oh, okay. But then when I got the miniatures out and saw the miniatures, I thought, wow, brilliant miniatures, really, really good. And then when you actually play this boss as well, the mechanics and what happens on the board is really, really good. It's a bit of a rush against time, but in a good way. And I came quite organised into it. I kind of took my time each go, thought about who's going to go where, who's going to go what, how they can link up. And yeah, I think I pulled it off okay, actually. I think it worked out okay. Now, I have had a look at the map. I heard somewhere that the maps you get do have clues as to what bosses might be coming up next. And I think I might know, I'm obviously not going to say, but I think I might know what boss is going to come up in chapter 6 next. And if it is what I think it is, from looking at the clues on the map, looking forward to it. Looks like it's going to be a tough one, but a really good one, if it is that one. But yeah, brilliant. Okay, so I think this week I will probably plan to do the story mode one evening, and then the encounter mode perhaps at the weekend or just before the weekend. I'll see how it goes. Brilliant. Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks for that.